And this conversation is very important, especially if you have friends, relatives, and probably if you're in a romantic relationship. Sawa, Gaza King Wagwan.
Wagwan.
That's right. At Nation FMK on Twitter is where you can find us. Use the hashtag, Pasa Tuesday, and 0719038963 is the number. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Let's dive right into it. Of course, you've seen that poster out. Yes, that lovely, lovely poster out. We're about to have this conversation with Faith Agnetta in Dara, and it's on setting boundaries. Madam Faith.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank God. Apart from the traffic, yes.
The traffic.
Great.
Oh my God, yes. It is not looking good out there.
Yeah.
But glad you made on time.
Yes, I had to. There is Ndudi, remember.
Ndudi to the rescue.
Yes,
I'm a huge, what's the word? Afraid of Ndudi. I'd rather sit in that traffic.
Lives.
I'd rather walk. Welcome to the Nation FM Drive.
Thank you so much.
Begin by introducing yourself. What is your name? What do you do?
Well, my name is Faith Agnetta. I'm a realtor and motivational speaker.
Yes.
Yes, I also push causes in the society, and one of them being impact, especially when it comes to families. We are losing a lot, and it's a personal initiative because I've been a product of the same. So, yes.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
That's an amazing bio you got right there.
Yeah.
So now, today we're talking about all things setting boundaries, healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Let's begin by what is that time you realize, listen, I need to start setting these boundaries. It's getting out of hand, and this is it. What is that time?
I'll use the simplest, where in a work environment, for example,
Yes.
I don't know if you've experienced the same. You come to work every day, and one day you realize someone expects you to answer to something that is none of their business, and you're like, where did we reach this? Like, what literally happened?
We just colleagues.
I have to explain to you
Correct.
why I did what I did, and why I did not tell you that probably I'm having a party or it's my child's birthday or I'm a mother. At what point did it reach that I had to explain that?
Yes.
So I feel a lot of people go through these in different areas, but workplaces are the easiest to refer to. And also it happens with friendships where I mentioned about a party or a celebration, and someone is like, why didn't you tell me? And you're like, oh, okay, I was supposed to tell you?
Yeah. I was obliged to?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And these are things that happen to us a lot of times.
Yes.
And in most cases, you're just going to brush it off and say, I'm sorry. I'll probably tell you next time. But deep within your heart, you're like, when did it get to the point where you're too comfortable to actually question me and my things and why I did not involve you? Maybe it was too personal and I did not have to have your face or your presence over there.
Exactly.
So now let's talk about you setting some of these boundaries and people feeling like you're coming off as extremely rude. Hey, ni maringo too. Yes. How do you do that? How can you set some of these boundaries without often coming off as arrogant or, being very, very rude or egoistic?
I think the best way to handle these is more of being what we'd call you are self-centered. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, you are the one who is going to suffer and to struggle, always explaining yourself to people, not being comfortable in your own skin, and always looking out to see, have I offended so and so? Have I left so and so out? So the best way to do it is just, I think it's high time I always talk about self-awareness.
Okay.
Always look at you, your well-being before any other person.
True.
It might sound so bad, but as you're busy pleasing everyone, you're hurting yourself. So it comes from a point where there is no better way other than just looking at you. Is it really necessary for me to explain myself to so and so? If no, then what next? And also I think the biggest challenge for most people is not creating boundaries. Personally, when I converse, for example, I'm a female, and today we start chatting.
Yes.
We do that, and you constantly reach out for at least a month. And you're not giving clarity. Are we friends? And the conversation seems to be digging deeper into maybe flirting.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Personally, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
What's
straight up.
Yes, I will. What's going on?
Yes.
What kind of friendship do we share?
Okay.
Then if someone steps back and stops talking to me, then I'm like, so you didn't have you had probably an ulterior motive that was going to drain me at the end of the day.
Correct.
So personally ask, even with ladies at workplace, when you get close, I'm like, okay, have you thought, as in, what's this? I
That's
don't
true.
I don't let that, and if they don't say a thing,
Yeah.
also that means there's nothing. So that means any other thing that's personal, it's personal.
It's personal.
Yes, you're not in the circle, you're not in the circle.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. I love that. I saw somebody talk about this on Instagram a couple of weeks back, and they were saying there are people who are allowed to use nicknames on me and others who are absolutely not allowed. And I was like, yeah, this is setting boundaries. If we're working together and probably I'm addressed as Anthony, but you've had somebody probably call me Tony, and then you call me Tony, that's not right.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you're being a little... you're making me a little uncomfortable. So do you also have some of these boundaries on the small things? Like, for example, even calling somebody sweetie, bae, and you're not that close. What do you term that, and how would you regard that?
Yeah, there needs to be that. But unfortunately, we are so swift. Kwanza, we are in a world where we prefer being called sweetheart.
Yes, babe.
Babes.
You've known me like 2 days now and you're calling me sweetie, honey.
And you're okay. Yeah, so, and unless you clearly, because what that leads on is on things like time. Very soon, they won't respect your timing.
Yes.
It drains back to even your material boundary. For example, if you have a ride tomorrow, I'm going to Shags, I'm like, yo, give me a ride. I go with it, I told you I'll take 2 days.
Yes.
And end up taking 4 days, and I'm
Yes.
like, easy, Tony, easy, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because you've not yourself, you're okay with, you've made it okay
Yes.
in a small scenario, then it ends up overlapping into other issues. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Of course, if you have questions on setting boundaries, probably also having challenges at work, in school, or probably even with family, you have to
Yeah.
set boundaries with family.
Oh, God.
Yes, if you have those questions and you feel like people just don't understand you, people are just like, hey, sasa wewe unakwanga tu kierere, unakwanga tu maringo, utaki ufanyiwe hivi, utaki ulizwe hivi. You know, things like being asked utaoa lini, those are things that are very important. And somebody, if somebody is uncomfortable with that, please don't push that. Please don't push it. You know,
Yeah.
things like utapata mtoto lini.
And you don't know what they're going through.
You don't.
You
Exactly,
don't know
you
what
don't.
they're going through.
Yes.
I remember in 2022, someone asked, when is the baby coming? And I'm like, wow, we had just lost a pregnancy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And when is the baby coming? And you're like, wow.
Yes.
How do you even answer that? But I think personally, since I had understood that angle of it, it came off rude, but I was like, that's none of your, because you're not family, you're not friend.
Yes.
You're just someone who, but it's none of your business.
It is none of your
It's
business.
none of your business, yeah.
For you, Faith, how would you call setting some of these boundaries and people who are going against them? Is it outright disrespect, or would you say they just don't know what they're doing?
They don't know what they're doing. Most of them, it's because we've normalized poking our noses where we're not supposed to. But also we've normalized being okay with it and answering them. And lying where possible. You're like, okay, acha nimdanganye tu, so that this story, I brush off the story.
Yes.
But the moment you've responded, you've given that person a title. They feel like, so next time I can ask.
And they can ask and they can go deeper.
Yes.
Hey, all right. 0719038963 is the number. We're talking all things setting boundaries. If you have any question for Faith, channel it over there at Nation FMKU on Twitter. Use the hashtag Pasa Tuesday. And remember, I've got some 2,000 Kenya shillings I'm giving out as soon as you hear this.